What it do, what it is, what it ain't. Thanks for listening to the latest episode of the Get Right Podcast. Don't forget to follow and subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify to get notifications of new content. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you dig? Cue the music. Yo, what it do, what it is, what it ain't. It's episode 99. It's the Get Right Podcast, man. You already know, man. It's your boy T. Never rolling solo. I got the brain trust with me, man, who started this thing in Clubhouse. Helps me getting near to a honey bun. Rod, what's some 3 words, bro?
What up, though?
Sir. And the people they love to hate to love, Mr. Misconception himself, because he gonna rattle some shit. This is what he does, man. He breaks it, we try to fix it. DC, what's good?
I don't break nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just the truth. But, the truth shall set you free. Some people can't handle the truth, T.
For sure.
Some people named T can't handle the truth. That's all that is, man.
That's cool, man.
But it's your boy DC in the place to be. Shout out to the 80s. Let's go.
For sure, bro. And we got a guest, though, who gonna break some of these ties of some of the shit you be saying, bro. Man, I got the big homie, bro. I call him the big homie, man. He was a class ahead of me, man. I went to school with this guy in Germany, bro. Super leader, dope dude. I'm gonna say this with my heart, though. He can be an asshole because he got on everybody's head, bro, to bring the best out of everybody. Like, sometimes you could hate him for it. He was like the Chris Paul for us in high school, man. But I got the big dog, man, Chris Miller, man. He's a regional marketing director at Adidas. He got some other businesses going on. We're gonna talk about that, man. But Chris, bro, what's up, bro?
Man, it's another day above ground, man. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate all y'all, man.
Oh, hey, bro.
Sure.
Nah, man, I appreciate you pulling up, man. So, obviously, man, tell the people, who you are, what you doing, where you from, where you at, where your granny stay, where your mama stay, all that, and all of that.
Yeah, no, that's shoot, man. Where do I start, man? Originally was established in Indianapolis, Indiana. Two parents was 2 high school sweethearts, man, which is kind of rare, and they stuck through it. Of course, they put the cart before the horse. I popped up on the scene before they made it official. But, my pops was, really good dude, joined the military and afforded my family to be able to see the world, through that. And, for that, I'm grateful, what I'm saying, to have him in my life and all of that. But, got to grow up overseas, been, pretty much all over the world. Yeah. And, ended up coming back playing, graduated high school, went to Western Kentucky, played ball there, and then enjoyed myself there. A bit of a culture shock, but, I was able to weather the storm there and get done with school and got down to Texas as quick as I could, man. And just been here, in Dallas since 2004, and just ain't left. So,
man, that's what's up, bro. You mentioned that, man, Western Kentucky, man. Obviously, you see my man Rod got on the Go Blue, man. You played
yep.
for the legendary Jack Harbaugh, bro. What was that like? You won a chip. Let's put that out there too, bro. Don't be humble, bro. You won a chip while you was there too.
Yeah, man. Like, it was really cool, man. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, when I had officially committed to going to Western Kentucky, but, heard a lot of things about Jack, and, just kind of trusted him, man, and just went with it. But, Jack is, he don't play around, man. He's old school, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, you put in the work, you get rewarded for it, So it was kind of like, just after meeting with him and talking with him, we had really a lot of the same values, man, as far as like, just really putting in the work, and there is no substitute for hard work. You know what I'm saying? You got to put in that time. And that's pretty much all I knew growing up, is whatever you put in is what you get out of the situation. And so I rocked with it, and I, trusted him. And, he had a sign on his, like before you go into his office, he had this sign on the top of the door that those that stay will be champions. And when I first went to
Mm.
Western there, my freshman year, I didn't know what to expect, man. I didn't think we was a good caliber of a team. You know what I'm saying? We had a few dudes, that was getting looked at, but nothing of the caliber of what we ended up becoming. You know what I'm saying? After the years, and then just kind of growing from that. So, but yeah, man, it was definitely
Yeah,
a joy and a pleasure, man, playing for him.
that kind of segue to a point, bro. You in this era, because we know now. You just said, "Ah, I wasn't caliber of the team." Most kids hit the portal these days.
Oh yeah,
like, like
yeah,
they just hit the portal, bro. Like 4 months in, they like, "Nah, I'm good, bro." Like, man, what's your take on that? But also, like, knowing what you know now, like you stayed, got a chip. You know what I'm saying? What's your take on that portal, bro? And was there any kind of discussion back then like that, bro? Where I mean, because
man.
transfer wasn't a big deal, but like, was those conversations though when you were there?
Yeah, man, we was definitely having those conversations while we were there, man. We were struggling to, eat, So even if
Mm.
we were on scholarship, we would have so many meals a week, and um, not all those meals covered you through the whole entire week. So you had to find ways to kind of accommodate. If you had a little boo thing, that had a job, then you might be able to skate over to their house for dinner 1 or 2 nights to kind of hold you down, but it was a little bit of a struggle, man, just trying to come up and not being able to work, because when you go into college, man, and play sports,
Mhm.
it's no longer an extracurricular activity, it's a job. They're
Mm.
expecting you to come in and put in that time, like you on the clock, bruh. So um it definitely was a
Yeah.
dream to be like, yo, imagine if we got paid, for the games that we were on, and the jerseys that get sold in store, and all of that, and stuff, and to kind of see it come full circle is cool. But there is that, it's got that wild west element to it, to where it's really not regulated, so for me, it is a good thing. It's bittersweet, you know what I'm saying? But there are the cons to that as well, of just no level of commitment, real commitment, no loyalty. It really is about chasing the bag now. And I don't think that was the true intentions for it, but that's kind of what it's become now. It's I'm going to the school, that's paying the most money. I'm going to the highest bidder at this point. It's no longer about, being loyal to a group of fellas, and locking in, and trying to work with what you got, and moving in that
Mhm.
fashion. It's more along the lines of like, yo, what have you done for me lately? What can I get more of? You know what I'm saying? And it's all about me in some situations. So
Yeah, you bring up a really good point, and we talked about NIL a few times
Yeah.
on this platform, and one of the things we really didn't think about, not necessarily complaining that the NCAA didn't step in and put structure behind it, but really recognizing that they didn't really have time. It was like a lawsuit. The lawsuit was over, and it's like, all right, this is legal. What do we do now, right? So what are we? What, 3 years in now? 2 years? 3 years?
yep, three. Yep.
3 years.
3.
So at this point, there should be some sort of thing to come in and like set some structure, because one of the big hot topics in the news this week was our boy Bill Belichick, right, is heading back to college. Shit, I don't even know if he was in college to begin with. I don't
Nope.
think he ever
Never.
coached college. But
Yeah.
yeah,
No.
so Bill is in college, and one of the things that he said enticed him about college is the structure now, and it's more like the NFL. I don't know how that's going to work. I honestly, you heard Tom and Gronk and those guys kind of clowning Bill about how is he going to go in there and recruit. I don't see how it's going to work, because, those who have played with Bill has a certain type of way, right? And I don't know if that
Mhm.
translates to 18, 19, 20-year-old kids, right? Um, but like you said, man, with the NIL, there's no true loyalty, and there's no contracts to make you be loyal, right? Like, that's truly what I feel like has to happen. if we're going to keep the NIL structure and you got revenue sharing coming in, actually, I think next year, right? I think next year revenue sharing starts.
Mm.
So you're going to
Yeah.
have NIL plus revenue share, which is going to allow a lot of these kids, the opportunity to make more money than they probably would in the NFL, right? Especially like if you're late rounds. We all know like early rounders, they get the bag, but you go third,
Mhm.
fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh round, a lot of these kids are making more than what those guys are making that's playing at the professional level. So hopefully there's some sort of contract structure in place or something to say if you sign this, X amount of dollars, and it should be incentive based, hopefully, based off of what you do and how long you stay there, that's how much money you get. And, one of the things that is another hot topic this week, and it's probably a hot topic every year since it's been happening, is people sitting out for the bowl games because,
Mm.
bowls are meaningless now if you're not in the playoffs, is what they say. But if I'm paying you to play, bro. Like, that means all season. That doesn't mean you get to sit out whatever game you feel like it. Like we just had a dude on San Francisco that said, I'm not playing. And guess what? He probably gonna be
Crazy.
out of job. So like that's how the NCAA structure is going to have to go. If I'm going to be paying you millions of dollars, like my guy Bryce Underwood, I don't know what the actual number is, but there's speculation that it's around the 12 million mark over the 4 year span if he stays for 4 years. Like there has to be something to say, look, if you transfer after 1 year, I need
Null and
X amount
void.
back, bro. Like you gonna lose that money. So I think that would be the solve for the people not being loyal. Is now you're gonna force to be loyal, whether you want to be here or not. You're gonna play, or you're gonna give me my money back, or you're gonna have to
Yeah.
have an
Yeah, or you
opt
could
out
make the other,
contract.
or you could make the other school pay. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like, say if you have still have like $6 million left on your contract, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to go to UCLA, UCLA has to pay, I don't know, USC that
Buyout.
6 million
There you
in
go.
addition to
Yeah.
whatever they said they're gonna pay that player to play there.
So
You know what
Oof,
I'm
that's
saying?
smart. That's smart.
yeah, that's a penalty, bro. Let me ask you this, Chris, because bro, I see your timeline, bro. You always traveling, bro. The three stripe brand is strong on your timeline, bro. You always traveling. Have you bumped? Because I know you hit some college campuses, you're hitting stores, you're all that. Have you ever had like, or even heard of those conversations from students like, yeah, like you were with Adidas, bro? What can you do for me? Those are like what's
I
that
mean,
planning like now, man? Because like you said earlier, bro, it's like it's about me, 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 me.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not so much on my end, man. But I've partnered with Adidas football and done a lot of work
Yeah.
with them, and they are very, very active at the grassroots level. You know what I'm saying? Like they get an early jump on these kids, man, and they do pull out all the stops for them, everything up to the point of offering, what I'm saying, X amount of dollars. It's like here goes, we're gonna outfit you, we're gonna give you the cleats, we're gonna give you the shoes, the gear, we'll hook you up with all of that stuff. And so it is a bit of a courting situation, when you do try to put together these like Adidas or these athletic branded camps. You've got the Nike Elite camps, you've got the Generation Adidas camps that happen, and they've got their eyes pretty much set on a lot of these kids. They're not able to actually offer them anything in high school because they're not quite at that amateur collegiate level yet. But once they get into college, it's a different ball game, and they've pretty much already built that relationship and established a rapport enough to where it's like it pretty much goes without saying that you rocking with us, versus the other brand, and this is what we've done for you up to this point. So, I've seen a lot of like teeter in the line, type things, but they're very, very strategic and careful with how they do link up with these guys and try to solidify, them being a part of the family, so to
Yeah.
speak. So
Yeah, congrats on getting that Heisman. I know you had a different prediction of that Heisman winner, but congrats to Adidas
Yeah,
getting that
no, I
Heisman.
mean, I'm totally happy for him, man. Like either way it goes, at the end of the day, you know, both of them guys, Ashton and Travis, they're both winning. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't be more happy for the both of them, man. So
Genty was a little more ahead in my book. Not to say neither one deserved it over the other, but in my opinion, just the running back position in itself is such a difficult position that's kind of undervalued in today's world. Hopefully
yeah,
Saquon and Henry and those guys are changing that stigma, but
Yeah, they're gonna get the money back up.
I hope so.
I think so.
And Gibbs, like you got a lot of good running backs. Bijan, a lot of good running backs right now. I think the longevity is that's really the, I guess, the killing factor. Is they don't really last that long over a lifespan of what you would consider an NFL life. But I thought the season he put together, like Travis had some of the best moments of the season. Genty had the best season though, like in my opinion.
Yeah. Like I mean, as far as best moments, man, like yeah, he definitely had his moments throughout the season, but when I look at comparing Genty and Travis, man, I look at it this way. Switch roles, if
Same thing.
Ashton was playing for the Buffs, I think that they would be in the college football playoffs right now, but if Travis was playing for Boise, I don't think that Boise would win 11 games. It would be a really big struggle. And I think too, I mean, I'm all for it. If you want to play both sides of the ball, do what you do, man. But if we're trying to compete for going into a professional level, I think Dion did him a disservice by having him play both sides of the ball because he wasn't able to be great at one position. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like jack of all trades, master of none, so
ding,
to speak.
ding.
So,
I
but
wish I had a sound drop for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not taking anything away from him, you know what I'm saying, and all that he's done because you just don't have players that can play 1,000 snaps in a season and still produce, So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm a big stickler for production, how much they actually contribute in a game and what the value is in that game. So, but it's politics, when you get into the Heisman situation, it's a media award. It's not
It is a media
not
award. Yep.
necessarily the people's
Yeah.
award, but
So speaking of the people voted Ashton. If you look at the results at the end, Ashton won the fan vote. Travis won the media
I mean that Maxwell Award speaks volumes. You know what I'm saying? Like that was voted on by the coaches, and the coaches spoke, and they was like, "Yo, you just don't. You're not getting running backs every day that's rushing at least 8 yards a carry, man. Like that's
yeah,
that's crazy.
With everybody stacked up to stop you,
like, right? And I mean, he running through everybody's face." Everybody's face, man. So
he had 1,500 yards after contact, bro. Like I don't think people realize how crazy that sounds. 1,500 yak yards. That's crazy. They were stacking the box, bro. 8 in the box, at least 8 in the box every game, and he still was doing crazy numbers. Like to me, hats off to him. Like again, congrats to Travis. He had the right person behind him, right? Prime, having Prime behind you. Like it was almost guaranteed that if he doesn't miss a good amount of the season due to injury or anything like that, he was going to win.
Yeah. I just wish that, I mean, I respect Travis because, he's super loyal, you know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that I've always loved about him. But, just thinking like in a parallel universe, it's like, man, what would he look like if he was playing in a SEC or a Big Ten conference, where he's playing, some juggernauts week in, week out, how does that look, for him? Are we seeing a different Travis or, are we seeing the one from Jackson State from the one from Colorado? So
we'll find out. Man. We'll find out in the league for sure.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna find out.
Bruh. And so man, and so as you grew, bruh, You know what I'm saying? We talk about next level, man. One, like I said earlier, bro, you you could be a tyrant to us in high school, man, for good reasons, bro. Man, how did you, bro? Because I always wanted to know this, bro. How did you keep your head? What kept you level, bro? Being the football captain, you the leader of everything in JROTC, bro. You the prom king, homecoming king, bro. You student council, you everything, bro. And I would say this personally, bro. You never walked around like you was better than everybody, bro. You could, you could, but bro, what kept you humble, bro? What kept you humble through all of that transition, bro?
I mean, just upbringing of being in church, man, and just understanding, where my power lies, and I think that my parents were a really prominent part in that. You know what I'm saying? My parents didn't play at all, bro. Like I was only an arm's length away from getting my ass beat, so and it wasn't like I
Black
was the
families.
perfect kid. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I was the perfect kid, but they always instilled in me, you know what I'm saying, that as a Miller, you know what I'm saying, you don't do things the way everybody else does. You know what I'm saying? They've always told me that I was a leader. They always told me what a leader looks like. And, in a lot of situations, they raised me up at a very early age to know that, hey, sometimes you're going to be in a situation where you're standing alone and not everybody's rocking with you. And you have to have enough fortitude to be able to stand on your own 10 toes, so and that stuck with me, you know what I'm saying? And I always felt like if I could be the best representation of myself, then that would rub off on other people. And yeah, sometimes I was a tyrant, and that's just because I knew it's because I was a visionary, man, and I still am today. I could see the potential in people. I could see the good in people, and that's all I wanted to do was just bring that out. And some people didn't want that, you know what I'm saying, because motivation comes and goes, and I was more about consistency than I was motivation. So if I could, whatever I had to do to flip that switch, man, you know what I'm saying, like I was willing to take it to that level, because I knew that once we got you to that level, or if we were able to have that breakthrough, you know what I'm saying, then people would learn things about themselves, that they would be stronger that they actually were, or, better than what they actually were. And when they could see that's
Yeah.
all that mattered to me,
Two memories I got I had with Chris, bro. Rod, you know this because you play ball, bro. You know the days you had no light practice, no pads. You just chilling. You just running plays.
Oh, shit.
Chris like, bro, pick it up, full speed. I'm like, bro. We like the best team in Europe, bro. Like, this is a light practice, bro. No, bro. F all that. I'm like, bro. I used to hate that. And to the point, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go full speed. 'Cause I don't feel like listening. I don't feel like I'm calling nobody out, bro. And the second one, bro, I don't know if you remember this, bro. And I got benched, bro. I muffed the punt and I muffed the kickoff, and I got benched, bro. Shahan took me out. He's like, man, we putting Chris on kick return and punt. I'm like, wait, what? What? Bro, I'm the fastest player on the team. Like I always felt, bro. I'm good, bro. And he took me on the bench, but I remember that game, that day film, that Monday we watched film. He was like, bro, don't even worry about it, bro. You gonna be on corner starting, bro. Like, worry about it, dog. Like, it happened. Get over it. Don't worry about it. I'm like, man, nah, bro. F that, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying, bro? I'm a returner, bro. That's what I know, bro. And lo and behold, a week later, Shane like, hey, man, you been a pain in my ass in practice all day. Go to the corner. You on the island. You on the island. You follow whoever. You on the island. I was like, damn. I was like, man, where did he put in a good word, bro? But I know that whole week, bro. Pay attention, bro. I'll be on the sideline. Pay attention to what they telling you on the plays. I'm like, bro, man, I don't give a damn, bro. Like, I'm still pissed. I'm mad at you, Chris, even though it ain't your fault. I'm mad at coach. I'm mad at everybody. But he was the one like, bro, pay attention, bro. Bro, your time is
I
coming,
do
bro.
remember that. Yeah, I
Pay
do remember
attention.
that.
You was on my ass, bro. Like, no Diddy. Like, bro, pay attention, bro. Like, I'm like, bro, I don't care no more, bro. I'm just ready for the season to be over. That's how it was,
I want to say that was the week after we had played like our biggest high school rivalry, which is Ramstein. And
yep, it was. I muffed twice.
We played them at home, and I wasn't even really mad at him. I was more mad at myself after that, after that game and that next week of practice because I fumbled the ball. You know what I'm saying? We were marching the ball downfield. You know what I'm saying? We were pretty much getting ready to close the game out. If we scored, it was about to be lights out, and it was literally probably like 3 or 4 minutes left in this game. And coming around on the pitch, caught the ball. I think I may have dropped it and thinking I already had it and was just going for the run. Dropped the ball and somebody came up, picked it up, and pretty much almost ran it all the way almost to the end zone. And so that really killed me because that killed our undefeated season. You know what I'm saying? And we, like, if anybody knows, anybody that grew up in Heidelberg, man, and maybe DC, being in Mannheim, but Ramstein was not a school that we just did not rock with them, man. Like, it was just that big of a rivalry, bro. It didn't matter. Them mugs was wearing red, white, and blue. Nah, man. Plus, they had the same mascot as us, so it was almost like, it was a problem. It was definitely a problem, man. And we would always go back and forth with the school in every single sport that we played with them. And I always remembered that I had a disdain for them when I was growing up in middle school. I would go to the high school football games and I would watch them play our high school, and they would give us the business, man. And I hated it. And so when I finally got in high school, man, and was like, really competing with this school, and then to drop the ball senior year, ruin the undefeated record, that hurt me, man. It really hurt me, man. And I really felt like I let the team down. And so, from that point on, I was like, yeah, nah.
Yeah, he was an
No
asshole.
more slacking.
Let's call it what it was.
No more,
I was like,
no more slacking, bro. Like, if you ain't with it, get up out of here, bro. Like, straight up.
Chris trying to get people kicked out the team, bro. We like, bro, we got like 2 weeks left in the season for playoffs, bro. Like, what you trying to get people out off the team?
It's called leadership, bro.
I didn't try to kick them off, but I would try to make them motherfuckers quit. Like, straight up, man. It's like, yo, if you ain't rocking with us, bro, because I need somebody that, when we in the trenches, man, it ain't no turning back. You got to give 100%, man, and that's in anything that you do, So, because there's always, and they had a dude on their team too who was always neck and neck as far as like being the best athlete in Europe or being the best at basketball. You remember Tyrone Hibbler, and he was. Yeah, he was. Yeah,
I'm beating my chest.
Yeah, Giz did put the work on him, bro. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
that was y'all though, being an asshole to me, man, being on me, bro. But yeah, and what Rod said, it was being a leader, bro. And I learned that after the fact, like, okay, this is what a leader looks like. This is how you take it. Even in my being older as a career, talking to people, bro, like, you got to be able to find out what makes them tick, and then continue to poke at that over and over and over again, bro. Pause.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't trust me, man. There was a lot of times where I did not like, you know what I'm saying, being the asshole, man. But I knew it was like, man, like I was on a mission, you know what I'm saying, and I wanted everybody to be on the same sheet. And it's like, yo, I can't do it without y'all, but I'm definitely going to try to do my best to light a fire and push you, So
yeah, bro. How did obviously you take all this leadership skills, you're doing your thing in Adidas, you're doing all that. Before Adidas though, you were doing music heavy.
I was,
bro,
man.
How did that come about, bro? With you, bro? Because you were into it heavy like that I knew you when we were younger. So how did this transition come now? You producing, you making beats, you even work with a few cool people.
Yeah. I mean, it really was sparked in high school, and then I kind of put it to the side when I was in college because I didn't really think much about it. And, music didn't start to come back to me until after college, when one of my best friends that I went to college with, he was a DJ, and he was, trying to tell me about this platform that he was using to produce music. I can't remember what the name of it was. It wasn't Fruity, but it was something else. It was low budget,
Reason?
Nah, it wasn't Reason. It was some low budget elementary style music platform, and he was showing me he had put together this little track, and I'm like, oh man, I could do something better than that. And he was like, yo, all right, whatever, if you can, you know what I'm saying, show me. And at the time, he didn't really know, that I could, really play instruments and stuff like that. So, he gave me the the code to download the program, and I went in there and started doing some stuff, and the bug hit me, man. And it was just like, all right, now I need to invest in this a little more. Let me go and buy the right programs and do this and do that. And, did that for a while and was able to work with, quite a few people. Cardo Got Wings, which is, a big producer, did a lot of stuff for Wiz Khalifa, Jay-Z, Jeezy. I had Styles P, did work with him as well. And then, a lot of local artists. But, it came to a point in time, I wasn't really making the money. And I know that, music game is funny, man. A lot of musicians' stories is like, yo, I quit my job. I was down on my last dollar, and I was trusting in the music, and I just happened to be at the right place at the right time, and everything just took off from there. And I was just like, I don't know if I want to be down to the last dollar. I got 2 kids, married, got the house. I don't know if I want to do that. So, I had to step away from it. But, music has always been something that has always been a part of my life. I played in church, played in the band in high school. Actually, I went to Western to originally major in music, but I wasn't able to major in music because I had to be in marching band for so many semesters. And it's like football, marching band. I'm like, I got to go with who's paying the bills. So, football gave me the scholarship. So I ended up minoring in music and then taking a major in broadcasting. So, radio and television operations. So did that, enjoyed that. And that was like the closest thing that I could do that still gave me, a little bit of that music type thing going, So, jumped into the radio, ended up having my own radio show in college, the only hip hop radio show from Bowling Green all the way down to Nashville, because Nashville didn't have a hip hop station at the time. So, my show was the only servicing of any type of black radio in that area, and it was one day a week on Sundays from 8 to midnight. And, we had a great time, man. I had Nappy Roots on there, had all kind of other local artists that came up, Jelly Roll, before he was, who he is now. He was just a little fat white kid, from Nashville that, spitting rhymes. And we used to have them come in. I had an in-house DJ, who would come in and do a mix for an hour and, really try to put it on the map, man. And and that was pretty much that, man, and enjoyed it while I was there. So
that's what's up, bro. I got a question because we talked about this on the pod, bro. Best production era: 90s, 2000s, 2010s.
I would say 90s. 90s by far. Like
I see DC got the eyebrows raised. I said 90s too, but I'm gonna let him get on his soapbox in a minute though. But you said 90s by far.
Yeah, I would say by far. Like, I feel like the thing about it is a lot of the producers that were big in the 2000s were actually doing a lot of the groundwork in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like the likes of a Pharrell, Timberland, all those guys were definitely paving the way for a lot of things, even writers' credits as well, But, my favorite producer is Teddy Riley, So I got to go with, the guy who really created his own genre. He was one of the first to actually do it, as far as hip hop and R&B is concerned with the New Jack Swing. So
that is, bro. DC, you got a rebuttal to that, bro?
Yeah, man. I mean, shoot, that's what you like. That's what you like, bro. I mean, I'm gonna definitely say 2000s. I mean, you got Kanye, you got Alchemist, you got Just Blaze, you got. I think the biggest thing is you've got from the 90s. It was more samples, like Primo, for example. He could make make beats out of nothing but samples, which is dope. But I think what the 2000s did, like a Kanye, for example, he would take samples, but he would also play instruments over the samples. And so, like, he didn't just lean on the samples. You know what I'm saying? Like the song with T-Pain, The Good Life. bro, that didn't even sound like PYT,
Right.
but
Yeah.
with Michael Jackson. Like, and I feel like that's kind of, granted, Kanye is kind of a unicorn, but I do feel like that's what the 90s, the 2000s did compared to the 90s. They just kind of took that sampling and really built on it and took it to the next level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I totally agree with you there, man. And I think one of the reasons why I do like Teddy is he wasn't a sample based producer, you know. So like everything he was doing was from scratch, and that was kind of like more the lane that I came from in music. You know, it's like I'm not big on sample producing. Like part of my production, or if I do produce, it's like my start is like, let's jump on the keys and let's vibe out. Let's do a quick jam session and see if we can catch something versus like, oh man, this 8-second snippet, man, I can flip that and chop it up and you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, to your point about Kanye, man, like Kanye is like on a whole nother level when it comes to production, man. Like he was just a guy that was just way, way ahead of his time. You know, in what he was doing. And it just took a lot of people a long time to catch up to figure out what it was, you know. And I think that, yeah, 2000s is definitely up there, you know what I'm saying? And arguably could be, you know, one of the best eras of production. But, you know, I got to rock with the 90s just because I feel like that was the father that kind of spawned, you know, everything else moving into the 2000s.
But all right, bro. You said Teddy Riley's your number one, bro. If I ask for your top three, who's number 2 and 3?
Man, you gonna put me on the spot like this?
All day, have to.
I'd say Kanye, and I only get 3, right?
Yeah, you got 2, so that's 2. So you got Kanye, you got Teddy,
I'd say Kanye. And I would say I would go with more of a underground producer, probably Alchemist. Like Alchemist is actually one of my favorite artists as well, just because, you know, he wasn't really gone off of trying to be this big super producer with like big name artists and stuff like that, but he still paved his way. And for those that are really truly like hip hop heads, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know who Alchemist is, you know what he's done, you know what I'm saying? Like to work with the likes of the Locks, to work with Mobb Deep, you know, him and Hit Boy, you know, like he's always been that guy that's like forgotten about. But once you hear his music, it's like, yo, like this dude is the truth, bro. Like he really is the truth. And
man, let me get your thoughts. What do you think about A-Rap music?
He's cool.
Oh man,
he's cool.
Bro, I rocks for A-Rap, bro. Like I feel like kind of the way you describe Alchemist, I would put A-Rap in a similar tier.
Yeah,
in terms of like, slept on, should be bigger, kind of.
Yeah, like his run with Dipset, you know what I'm saying, I think is phenomenal, you know what I'm saying? But I've always seen him as like what I would consider like a competition producer, or somebody that's really good at like finger drumming and coming up with like live in the mix type,
you know, like instrumentalists.
Yeah, like if it was like if they had like a beat battle for like finger drumming producers, like ain't nobody holding a candle to A-Rap, man. Like he's just crazy with it when it comes to that. But I mean, when you look at like longevity of like classic hits and music, like I don't hear too much of his music on the radio anymore.
That's
you know,
true.
like the likes of, you know, even a Teddy Riley, you know, like his like transcends all generations at this point, you know, like people are still going back and pulling his music and sampling it and so on and so forth.
Yeah, didn't Pharrell come up under Teddy Riley?
Yeah.
Pharrell Williams, he did, didn't he? I thought so.
Well, I wouldn't say he came up under him, but he definitely did a lot of work for Teddy, like in his earlier years, doing a lot of writing. You know, he wrote Rump Shaker. Yeah, he wrote Rump Shaker. You know, he
you gotta see that Lego movie, DC, if you ain't seen it yet.
Yeah, he's done a lot of that.
I like watching Lego movies.
It's about Pharrell, bro. It's a hell of a documentary, bro. But it's just in Lego.
Yeah,
it's animated. It's dope.
Yeah, I probably won't watch it.
Yeah, but Pharrell is up there too, man. Like I'm a big fan of Pharrell, and I just feel like he brought more of the elements of like that concert band or that marching band aspect, to where it wasn't always about boom bap 808, but it was more about instrumentation and taking like unique instruments that you would never think of putting into like a hip hop record and utilizing that, and that being like his staple. So I've liked Pharrell as well, as far as his creativity.
But them boys out of
Organized,
Virginia just different.
Yeah, they are.
Way they on a
It's
whole
something.
other level.
It's something in the water in Virginia, bro.
You know what's funny is the fact that you said something in the water. That's actually one of well, it was a collaboration that we did with Pharrell where we would do a music festival, and it was called Something in the Water. And they had this music festival every year in Virginia Beach. It's kind of similar to kind of like Coachella almost, but it's like the East Coast version of it, where they have a couple days. They got, different headliners, different artists, stuff like that.
Okay.
Kind of like Dreamfest almost, but yeah, that was a big thing for Adidas and Pharrell.
So, speaking of like Adidas, Pharrell, and you mentioned Ye, in that top tier of producers. How did Ye? I don't know if you were around at this time, but how did Ye change the trajectory of Adidas from your perspective? I know from my perspective what I think, but I'm curious to know internally how do y'all feel about that?
I mean, I was definitely around during that time. I've been with the brand since 2007, and
Okay.
Kanye came on.
Brand is strong there.
Yeah, Kanye came on in 2013, 2014 timeframe, and just thinking back at that time, man, like we were struggling, man, as a brand, and it was just like, if we go too much further down, what I'm saying, we might not be here, So I think Kanye was really a true savior in revitalizing like the true strength of the brand and bringing it back to a prominent juggernaut within the athletic brand culture. And I think one of the things I've always admired about the brand is how they were able to utilize music to make the connection with sport, and bringing in, artists that as far as a brand, Adidas was the first ones to bring in and sign, music artists to an athletic deal, that just was unheard of. And so we've kind of taken that niche and been like almost like the gatekeepers of it. It's like we're pretty much the ones that are going to go and take that risk, and although they don't play sports, it's like, it doesn't matter, like all people wear sneakers, you know what I'm saying? Even people that listen.
So you got,
and that was,
oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, that was a huge important factor in, the push in the brand kind of revitalizing itself and kind of being reintroduced into these athletic spaces as such.
I could be under a rock. I know it was Ye at one point, Pharrell. What other musical artists? Okay,
Yeah.
yep, Ivy Park.
Yeah, so we've had Snoop Dogg, 2 Chainz, Big Sean, Pharrell, Nicki Minaj, Justin Bieber,
Pusha
T. It really is a lot, too many to call out. Like right now, we've got Coi Leray, we've got Tate McRae, which I don't even know. I didn't even know who Tate McRae was until she signed with the brand, and I'm just like,
start going Googling.
All right, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I had to do my Googles on her. But we've had quite a few. Obviously, our biggest one and most heralded of the brand would be Run DMC. They were actually the ones that broke the mold on everything when it comes to signing artists to an athletic deal. So yeah, we've definitely been in the works with a lot of different artists. So
Yeah, yeah. When I think back to those times, like what a time though with the Ye era. I know it's come to a conclusion now, but I remember back in like 2015, downtown Detroit, at work, bro, with 3 different devices trying to get some damn Yeezys, bro. Man, them bots
On
used to
the
drive
app.
me nuts, bro. Yeah, bro. I used to be going crazy. Could never get them
You
joints,
had the phone, the
man.
laptop, and the iPad, bro.
Yep.
Yeah.
All gone. And meetings, bro. And meetings have all 3. Like, I gotta get these pirate blacks, bro. But yeah, man, he definitely sparked something with Adidas. Like without Ye, I probably would have never even given the Ultra Boost a try, which, Ultra Boost for me is one of the dopest silhouettes, but one of the
Yeah.
dopest shoes when it come to comfort. Like, I'm not a big Adidas person, but it made me, like, the Ultra Boost made me kind of jump on the wave a little bit. I started getting the track
Mm-hmm.
pants because I don't cross brand, so I started getting the track pants to go with them, and
That's sacrilegious,
man,
man. That's
I know,
blasphemous.
man, I know. They look at it different down here in the South, and I'll be like, yo, y'all
Yeah.
killing me, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't care about none of that, bro. Nike,
See?
Adidas, bro. I'm gonna put it on, bro. If it's fly, I'm gonna
Oh,
put
you
it on.
can't
He's
do
one
that,
of
bro.
them, bro. Yeah, we had this conversation about that, bro. He's like, "Yeah, I wear a Nike shirt with Adidas pants." I'm like,
Bro,
I don't
do,
cross
"You
do
going to
what
brand.
you
just go
do,
check the
man.
mail, right?"
Yeah.
That's ridiculous,
Yeah,
bro.
no,
Put
to
it
your
on. I
point,
don't care what it is.
I just remember back in 2014, I got the opportunity, to work All-Star Week, and at the time the brand was sponsoring the NBA. So,
Yeah,
we were the, the movers, the pushers, we were definitely doing a lot of things, and I had been tasked to do the audit count for the first 750s that dropped, the gray with the gun bottom 750s, and we had a lot going on. And you mentioned the Ultra Boost. The Ultra Boost actually dropped the same day as the Yeezys, but the Yeezys overshadowed the Ultra Boost, and the Ultra Boost didn't get no love until probably, man, it might have been almost 6 months after that shoe had released, man. And I was just like, man, we got this. And the whole thing around the Ultra Boost was the new technology behind it, so we had this new foam that people weren't familiar with. It looked like styrofoam is what people were calling it, but we were like, more of us on the Adidas side were more focused on, is this shoe going to do what we think it's going to do? And when it didn't do anything, that's when folks started getting worried. And it was that moment where Kanye was in Chicago. He did a concert at the United Center up at where the Bulls play, and literally they got the perfect shot of him jumping up in the air with these white Ultra Boosts on.
Oh.
And people were like, what are those on his foot? And at first people thought they were Yeezys, but obviously after people found out what it was, that all white Ultra Boost with the black sole, out the door, man. And that's really what catapulted it into being like, one of those staples for a lot of people in their closet, as far as like just a go-to shoe to rock with any and everything. So, and it went from being like a highly technical running shoe, because like the materials that were put in it was out of this world, but it went from being that to a lifestyle shoe. So, this was like, all right, well, if this is the lane, then let's come out with all these different colors and let's do this and
Yeah.
let's do that. So,
how many
Yeah, I
pairs you got, bro?
appreciate it.
Ultra Boost,
Yeah,
I probably really ain't got that many pair.
all
Probably
right.
about 13 or 14 at one point. It was up there in about 50, 60, but
God,
like
dog.
I
13 is
donate,
crazy.
I donate my shoes every year, man, because I just don't have room for them. And
Mm-hmm.
some shoes I might wear 2 or 3 times for an event, and then
What size shoe you
they're in
wear?
the box.
What
13.
size? You said 13?
Is you a 13
Yeah.
year old?
That's my size. Yeah, we gonna have to holler.
Okay, well, I'll keep you in mind the next time I get ready to
You
get
want to donate,
offload
bro?
a
We gonna
Sure.
send you the Addy. You gonna send you the Addy,
Yeah.
like what's
Sure.
good, bro?
No, I got you, because I donate some to the charity. Obviously, it's a write off, but I'll send some out to some of my homies too. I've got a couple
For sure.
homeboys that wear 13s, and I show him some love, every now and then. So yeah,
Nah, Rod, like, yo, new
shoot me
best
the
friend,
Addy,
bro.
Shoot me the Addy.
For sure.
I'll send it to you, bro. I'm gonna send it to you, bro.
Hey,
I
I
don't
know
know
D.
how it's going to work with the jump man, but it is what it is.
We'll figure it out. Hey, I got a lot of old Navy stuff and stuff that has nothing on it. So yeah,
Okay.
when it
That's
comes
the
to the
play,
gear,
bro.
honestly don't really even buy the brand gear that often. More of the shoes. That's because I can flip the shoes to wear whatever I want with them. So I don't really bear. Man, I got a couple Tyro pants from Adidas, and then I got like a couple of Michigan Jumpman stuff. But outside of that, it's a lot of just like no brand name type clothing, bro.
Yeah, well, you know what Dom said. Dom said, "Don't wear Jordans in the club; they ugly. Rock Adidas with Gucci; they clean." So, Adidas
There you
goes
go.
good with anything, man.
Yeah, see,
Man, yeah. Speaking of that,
I'm still a big Jordan 1 guy, bro. Like Jordan 1s is probably my favorite silhouette of all time. Not comfortable at all anymore, so I don't rock
Not
them
at
as
all.
often as I used to. That
Yeah, I got
1985
some in the vault.
technology is gone, bro.
Yeah,
you
I
say you got
still
something.
got J's in the vault, man. Like when I first moved down here, my first job was working for Foot Locker Incorporated. So, on the Champ side. So Champ Sports was my first big break into the sneaker game. And during that time, man, that's when retros was the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you had people camping out days prior, you know what I'm saying, just to wait
Yeah.
on if they would have a chance at the Jays. And if you wasn't the first 50 people in line,
Yeah, it's a wrap.
20. If you weren't the first 20 people in line, it was slim pickings, man. So
Man,
see, that's why back in the day you had to have a connect, bro. Like you had
for
to know
sure,
somebody that worked in there to get them, which we
and
always had somebody.
It was super competitive back then too, because I don't know if you guys remember, but like in that 05, 06, 07 time frame when Jordan would drop probably like 3 or 4 different Jordans. But the thing about it was exclusive to certain stores. So Foot Locker would have maybe the green bean 5s that would come out, and then Chance would have like the military 4s, and they would all be dropping on the same day, same time. So you had to pick whose line was you gonna stand in, or yeah, man, and things would get ugly, bro. It would get real ugly, man. Folks coming out the store with they bag, folks, as soon as you hit that parking lot, next thing you know, bro, you face up and looking in the sky, don't know what happened. You know what I'm saying? Folks running off with your bag.
Yep.
so, bro.
Yeah.
Crazy days, bro.
Yeah, but they've changed that all up now, man. So
yeah. I say DC team Adidas for sure, bro. He like an hour from me in Columbia. I remember he hit me up like, bro, they got these litters in my size, bro. I need at the mall close to you. I need you to run and go pick them up, bro. I'm sending you the cash. I'm like, all right, John.
yeah. That's what's
I think
up.
what was those
I
Lillards?
can send you.
It was those
I
Lillards.
can send you the code, man. Get you a little 50 off purchase.
Hey man, I'll take it, bro. I don't even really wear a whole lot of sneakers like that, but when I do, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they striped.
Stripes.
You need to cop those Anthony Edwards, man.
I tried to show it to him, bro. I showed him the platinum, the chrome joints. I was like, bro, you rock with these, bro? He was like, nah. It's like, bro, no.
Yeah,
that's bro. I said, we got to guess from Adidas.
Adidas is slowly coming back, man. We won Sneaker of the Year 2 years in a row. We won this year. The Sneaker of the Year was the Anthony Edwards basketball shoe, and the year before that it was the Samba, which is just a low profile soccer shoe that we basically switched over into a lifestyle vibe. So yeah, man, we slowly but surely coming back.
Yeah, my wife is for sure. She's the Ultra Boost queen. I mean, she got so many damn pair.
Oh, yeah.
And then my kids, bro. We in
my
the
wife,
Adidas
she got the
family
white.
too.
She got the white and like neon green and orange, the NMDs.
Oh yeah.
NMD
was a big thing too, bro.
It was a big thing.
Ultra Boost.
I think I got a pair of NMDs.
Yeah. The NMDs is tough, bro. To me, they still is, bro. I like them. I
Man,
like the silhouette.
that's bringing up so many damn memories up. Like that was a time, bro. What a time. But it to circle it back though, it shows you, and I've said it for a while, and I have certain people that disagree with me, but Kanye West might be the most influential rapper of our generation because I literally seen him, and you can call it a cult following or whatever you want to call it. I've seen him break the mold of things that I didn't think was possible. You know what I mean? Like there has never been a rapper or artist that had that type of buzz when it came to fashion. Like this man wore a holy t-shirt, bro. And next thing I know, the
And it's
whole
sold out.
world was just like wearing this like
The shredded
almost like
two piece.
homeless type gear, bro.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
whatever he was putting out was just gold. Like he said, man, just a snapshot of an Ultra Boost made the Ultra Boost
Yeah.
go
I'm
off,
looking at that
bro.
picture right there too when he
Just
jumped up right there,
crazy,
bro.
bro. Like
Yeah.
even now, we talked about it last week or the week prior. Him going independent, and he's still, you know, what I mean, not selling like you would think Kanye would sell, but without the machine behind him, he's still on.
He's still moving units.
Multiple people. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Spotify list or Apple Music list. Like he's still the joint he did with Dollar Sign is still top 5 in a lot of these playlists. And that's
Yeah.
considering that Volume Vultures 1 wasn't even considered an album. Like it's not recognized as an album by at least Apple Music. I don't know if Spotify recognizes it as an album, but
Mhm.
I'm like, bro, yeah, it's just he
Different.
can't be canceled, bro. Like he's
Yeah.
one of those guys that you just can't do it. Like he's the most influential artist of our time, even musically and sonically. Without Ye, there's no Travis Scott. There's no J. Cole, bro. There's no J. Cole without Kanye
There
West.
ain't no Jay-Z. There ain't no Beyonce.
Yeah.
There ain't no Dipset. There ain't none of
He got
that.
his hands on a lot of that. It does.
Yeah.
It does, bro. Speaking of hands on a lot of stuff, bro. I'm gonna ask you this question. It's gonna segue to question number 2. Good Kid, Mad City, Kendrick Lamar. Classic album, yes or no?
Yes.
Bet.
Yeah.
Okay.
By far. Like when I first heard that, it took me right back to Aquemini.
Mm.
Period. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as like a and I really don't like the term album because it's more than that. It really is like a musical, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Like you could easily close your eyes and you can envision what this musical would look like listening to the music or going through the album, you know, with the skits. You know, it just really brought me back to a time where artists really cared about it was their artistry and what they were putting out. It wasn't like just a mass production of like 2-minute songs that were coming out, but it was more of a full body of work from beginning to end. And it was telling a story. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen to that.
Yeah.
I feel like I grew up in Compton. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I know who Shireen is. And I'm one of the homeboys. I'm one of the homeboys in the minivan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Coming and popping up at Kendrick's house and then listening to his mom and his dad talk about crazy stuff. Like it brought me to that. It took me into that world, man. And it's been a long time since I've listened to an album like that. And it's given me that type of feeling, you know?
Yeah. Bro, yeah, you feel it like in your soul, man. That's that good music, man. So to add to this question, man, because we already know what the Kendrick and Drake and all that. We know who won. Now, we had a debate on last week's episode as we had a guest, man. So Poetic Justice, we know that song's on there.
Yep.
And we know people talk about the Drake stimulus package and all that. And that's true. He's helped out a lot of people. Now, if Poetic Justice was not on that album, is Good Kid, Mad City the same feeling, the same classic musical that you would call it?
I mean, I think so. You know, I don't know if it would have gotten as much praise as quick as it did, you know, without that. It's kind of like Reasonable Doubt, you know what I'm saying? Like it was an album that had to mature for people to really understand it. But I think that, you know, without Poetic Justice, there were a lot of other bangers that were on there. You know what I'm saying? I felt like really put you in a vibe, you know what I'm saying? To where even today, like it's still competitive with albums that's being dropped. And I mean, Good Kid, Mad City, that mug came out. When was that? 2015, something like that.
Yeah.
12 or 13, right?
Yeah, it was early 10s. So
Yeah.
and you know, just going
2012.
back and thinking like
2012.
I'm just trying to think of who else was really popping at that time besides him, Kanye, Drake,
Future.
Mm.
Future was popping. Future been
Future
popping,
was
bro.
popping. Yeah, that's true. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not as big on Future. I like Future, but I don't know. I've just
Future should have been in the big three, man. Or if anything, it should have been a big four. You know what I'm saying? The fact
Really?
that Future is left out of the conversations is disrespectful, bro.
But why do you like?
Disrespectful.
Why do you think that? Because I feel like Future is a great artist, but he's not getting the what do you call it? The machine isn't behind him. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think the machine needs to be behind him because he's already doing his thing. He's got a cult following.
Mood, because it's mood music, bro. That's its own specific thing.
Isn't all music mood music?
But see, you trying to twist stuff, bro. I'm telling you, mood music in terms of the genre that he has. And
I mean, is it all mood? Is it though?
When they talk about Big Three, when they talk about Big Three, I think they were considering like who's the best when it comes to lyrics. And really, I agree.
They weren't though. But they weren't though. Because those aren't the best lyricists. Those three ain't the best lyricists. Sci-Hi is not a best. Sci-Hi is the same class. He's better than all of them.
But you can't put Sci-Hi in something. He only dropped one album, bro. Yeah, Sci-Hi run circles around all of them.
Sci-Hi has written a lot of bars for a lot of people.
He has.
You know what I'm saying? So
he has.
Sci-Hi is one of my best lyricists of all time, bro. Like without Sci-Hi, there's like he said, there's a lot of people that has no music because he's
that's true.
The ultimate ghostwriter. But when you talk about there's levels to it, right? There's when you talk about a Mount Rushmore, which that's what it should be, and I think Future should be on the Mount Rushmore. The only reason this whole big three came through is I'm thinking is because they always had this notion of who's the best MC, Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas, right? And that's I don't know why 3 has been the thing since then, but that seems to be the way it's gone since that line has come out. But I agree. Like if you're talking about a Rushmore of this generation, you have to consider 4 people, and then does Ye still is in that mold? So I don't know. Does he take Future spot? I don't know. Like I don't consider J. Cole to be. You know what? Never mind. I'm not going to even say that. Go ahead.
I was about to say where we going with that, but I think too with a big part of that is crossover appeal. You know what I'm saying? If you're not appealing to pop radio, which is considered like the white R&B, whatever you want to call it, but if you're not crossovering into that, it's really, really hard to be, I guess, considered for people that are on the outside looking in. Like we all listen to hip hop music. We grew up in the culture, you know what I'm saying? But folks on the outside looking in, they won't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like they couldn't have these conversations with us unless they were exposed to it on like a pop station or it had some type of crossover appeal. And I think that is one of the things that hurts Future as far as being like as big as I think he should be bigger than what he is as well. He just doesn't get that same love, and
you don't get the same love. I think Future is a pop star, man. I mean, he dropped 3 number 1 albums this year. 3 number 1, not hip hop album. 200, top 200. I mean, on the Billboard 200 albums, 3 number 1s. I mean, that's up there, bro.
I mean, it is up there,
albums was number 1.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's up there, but
fact check that one.
Yeah, fact check it, bro. Fact check it, bro.
Billboards has been so suspect, man, since the early '90s, man. It's really, I don't know.
So if we're not using that, then what tangible measuring stick is there? I mean, it's got to be something beyond just the quote unquote culture.
I mean,
That is a
I'm
good
listening to
question,
what's
bro.
being
But
I'm listening to what's being played in the top 40. You know, these top 40 radio station, although they do follow the Billboard, I think there is a certain level of bias there as well. You know what I'm saying? Like Future he's about as hood as you can get, you know what I'm saying? To where you're not getting that crossover appeal, and you still got to be able to bring in those other folks, you know what I'm saying, and then feel comfortable listening to that music. So
yeah, but he did it three times this year.
Yeah, I know he did, but the thing is, like Future has a lot of songs where he's singing. You know what I mean? Like he did the song with Drake and Tim's, "We'll Wait for You." That was a pop song. He has a lot of songs like that. I know a lot of time we think of the Ratchet. That's what I like personally. I like that more than
Yeah.
the song where
bro. Live your truth.
he got the song with Rihanna, "Love," Affection. That was a huge pop song. You know what I'm saying? So like
but were they playing that on the pop radios? Because I
100%.
think that was more of a.
I would say
that was
the
more
most
of a
recent one.
Probably because of
R&B.
Rihanna. Probably because of Rihanna on that one. They were.
Rihanna was on there. But what was that?
Come on, bro.
Most
Like
recent one?
if he's on the song, he got to get credit. And he wrote the song. Oh, by the way, he wrote he wrote the song. So like to say that it's only a hit because of Rihanna, obviously she's a star, and that
said it got crossover appeal because of Rihanna.
Crossover. Yeah.
The one song that we know that's recently out is "Falling Out of Love" with Me. That was on both charts. He charted on both. That was a dope track, though.
Yeah.
It was a dope.
Which song was that?
What song was that?
"Falling Out of Love." You know what I'm saying? You say you falling out of love with me.
Oh yeah, that's right. He
charted on both sides.
Yeah, but man, he got a song with Taylor Swift.
He
did a song with Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran. I'm over here looking at the
on average.
I mean, to say he's not pop, the man is definitely like I think he's in every single crowd.
He's crossed over a couple times.
I can't say he's pop though.
Yeah, I don't think he's not pop.
He may have pop songs. He may have a pop
all
song.
All pop means is you're popular. That's all that means. It doesn't mean you make a certain type of music.
Yeah, but we know like Drake is a pop star.
Yeah, you know what that means, bro. Like don't.
Nah, because here's the thing: DMX was pop. He didn't. DMX was pop. He was a pop artist. He didn't wear shiny suits and shit like that. But DMX was a pop artist. He did it his way.
I give you that.
Yeah,
but he was a pop artist, and so that's what I'm saying. Future's doing the same thing.
Year and went crazy.
Yeah, and he dropped number ones after that, and he performed at the Lollapalooza and the Woodstock and all this.
Fair.
Brother. And he headlined. That's pop,
hey, bro. You got a point.
Say but he's a future.
He in the future eye. He's in the future eye all day.
He's going to promote this guy, so I appreciate you, bro.
I might, but stop me when I'm lying. I mean, that's all I'm saying. Stop me when I'm lying. I am a Future fan, but I'm also spitting that.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying, bro? He did the song with Kendrick Lamar and what's that dude's name? J Rock. La di da. Right, as crazy as it sounds, everybody remembers it,
and everybody was doing it too. They
everybody was doing it, bro.
I'm looking at Chris face like, oh dang, I cannot. He like you took him back to it.
Yeah,
but I mean, bro, it you you definitely got a point, man. I don't know, man. I don't feel like he's getting as much play as like a Drake or a Kendrick. I think that, and I don't know. He may just be missing one little thing, may not. I don't know, but
to be clear, he's not getting the spins as Drake and Kendrick, but nobody is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could that criticism that you got put on Future applies to literally everybody. J. Cole don't get the kind of spins as Drake and Kendrick does. There's no other rapper, you know what I'm saying, dead or alive, that's getting no spins. So that don't really.
That's where I was about to go with that whole J. Cole thing. Like he is, and we talked about this previously. Like to me, like Drake is in a world of his own, bro. Like that's given. Drake is Drake. He's gonna be Drake. He's doing things that we've never seen before. But Kendrick is no slouch, bro. And that's when people were saying like Kendrick would not be Kendrick without Drake. I disagree, because Kendrick would have been Kendrick without Drake. He hasn't performed Poetic Justice in I don't even know how long, years, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't even the biggest song off of that album for him.
It's Mad
You know what I
City.
mean? Yeah, Mad City is the biggest song, but even
People play that
Don't
still.
Kill My
Yeah.
Vibe, Don't
Yeah.
Kill My Vibe was bigger. It was bigger than the Swimming Pools, I believe. I had to double check
Swimming
that,
pools
but
was up there though too.
Swimming
Yeah,
Pools
bro.
was up there. So I think Kendrick would have been Kendrick without Drake's help, and that's what solidifies him as he would have been a star in his own right. And Cole has his own following. Cole is just more of a conscious rapper, and to me he I don't know, it's just something about him to where I hear more people that don't rock with Cole than and I live in the Carolinas, so I will say it has flipped since I moved down here. But if I go back home to Detroit, I know much more people that will not shit on Cole, but kind of like respect that he can rap, but it's like it's just not for me. You know what I mean? That's what a
Yeah.
lot of what I get from Cole. He don't sell
Was
like the
this
other two
was
do.
this prior to the Kendrick Drake beef,
This
or
was
was it
prior
after he
to.
dropped the
This was prior
Might Delete
to.
Later?
This was prior to. So the long standing thing about Cole is that even his hits are not mega hits. You know what I mean? He's had some bangers to me that hit it. You know what I mean? Obviously, Role Models was a big one.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other big one he had? Role Models is probably his biggest, but what would be his
Think they
other
got that track
big
with
one?
Missy.
What's
Nobody's
the one with the
perfect.
crooked smile? Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah, Crooked Smile.
Crooked
Yeah.
Smile, yeah, that was big. I don't think it was big as Role Models. Like to me, the most I would say commercial
Can't get
album
enough.
that he had was
Probably his debut album.
Yeah.
Are you talking about commercial success or just
Yeah.
commercial sounding?
commercial sounding was probably
I think it's probably his first album.
you think his first one?
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe
Because I was disappointed in his first one because he kind
what
of
is
went
it?
a little more pop to try to
Yeah.
get big.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
And then he
Forest
came out
Ave.
with Born Sinners, and I felt like that was like his makeup album.
Yeah.
And then he did Forest Hill Drive, and that was his magnum opus. You know what
Yeah.
I mean, that's like his
Forest Hill
all-time
Drive
classic.
is Forest Hill is crazy,
Yeah,
bro.
I think
Yeah.
too. Like you got two different J. Coles too, man. Like he went through a transition, like a metamorphosis, if you will. You know, during his first and what was the second album. So you
Yeah.
know, like he was coming into a revelation on a lot of things of who he was as a person, and I think that people kind of recognized that maybe early on. And I think too, even with this whole with the diss record that he had dropped, even listening to that, listening to it, I could feel that he was not true to himself. Like I felt like he was not really trying to put his best effort in writing bars for that record, and I don't think that he really wanted to do that because it wasn't true to him. It wasn't authentic to him, and I think that people kind of recognized that, especially when he went through his metamorphosis. So you know, I could see, you know, them being like, "Yo, I don't rock with the old J. Cole." You know, there wasn't really true authenticity to what he was talking about.
For sure.
So,
Yeah. Hey,
Man.
real quick though, something just came out on Friday. I don't know if you all had a chance to listen to it, but I gave it a spin. One spin. That's probably all it's going to get, honestly. But what y'all think about the what is it called, Missionary?
Oh, Snoop
That's
and Drake.
Snoop Dogg. That's
Yeah, Snoop and Dre.
That took me back, bro. I played it. I spent it all the way through. I don't know. You heard it yet, Chris?
He said took you back.
I have not.
Just the West Coast. The old Death Row with Dre. How Dre and Snoop used to get together.
My boy said it was Larry Holmes raps, bro.
Oh yeah, it wasn't bar. It wasn't no bar.
They didn't have to do that.
They,
he ain't had to do that, bro.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's tough. It wasn't Larry Holmes, but like,
nah, bro.
Nah, it was cool, bro.
That's crazy.
It's just a West Coast. It was a vibe, bro. It was a West Coast vibe, bro. We kind of took you back to Dre and Snoop, bro. That's how I took it. I thought it was cool, bro.
I didn't get the West Coast, super West Coast. I mean, yeah, they sound West Coast, but I didn't really get that vibe. It honestly, to me, it sounded fresh and new from both of them. I thought it was a very well put together album, very technically sound. Like it sounded like Dr. Dre had his fingers all over it. Like when if you went in through headphones, you hear certain instruments on this side. Like they did it very, very well.
He did 100% of the production. He said,
yeah,
100%.
yeah,
Makes sense.
and he could tell he mixed that thing. With
Mhm.
that being said, yeah, it's only worth one good spin.
Mhm.
Like it
Really?
it's got a couple songs that's like
Mhm.
okay, I'll pluck a couple songs out of here and add it to a playlist or something. But for the most
Here's
part, yeah, I ain't really coming back to it, man.
one critique. The Tom Petty feature, Last Dance with Mary Jane. I was like, oh, he should have had Wiz Khalifa on there. That was me.
With Tom Petty? Ooh.
Yeah,
That's
yep. The spin with Tom
well,
Petty.
you know
Yeah.
why
that probably
If
could
he
he
would have
got
had
Tom Petty
yeah.
on there.
Oh yeah.
Jimmy Iovine. That's all Jimmy Iovine right there.
yeah.
Because
So
Jimmy
Yeah.
Iovine used to be the button pusher for Tom Petty back in the day. He used to do a lot of recording for them and
so
all
easy
that.
clear.
So,
Easy clearance,
oh yeah,
man. So man, we got
yeah.
5 minutes before we wrap, bro. Chris, I got 2 questions for you, man, because it's a fun fact you told me. This is gonna be new to them. One, we're a huge fan of the 520 podcast. I know you know the 520 podcast with somebody kin to you, Jeff T, bro. Is Jeff really
Yep.
like that, bro? He one of the funniest
Bruh.
people, like, oh.
I'm gonna tell you, man. Like he is a good storyteller, man. Like he is always telling stories, and he's just always got everybody cracking up around him and all that stuff, man. So yeah,
I know the
everything
next
that
family
you see
reunion,
on
I would
there,
love to be a part of it. I know that's your family side of the fence. I had to ask that question because I was like, oh man, I know. Because you brought that up to me. He's like, yo, bro, Jeff, yeah, with the hearts, bro, that's Ken, bro.
yeah,
Like, and you was
yeah,
like, yo, he
he's
wild.
always been that
So,
way.
yeah.
Yeah,
There
I've
you
been
have
waiting
it.
for him. He's got a story about. I mean, I ain't gonna steal his thunder, but he's got a story about Waka Flocka getting beat up in a getting beat up in a sneaker store, and him and one of his teammates, they was in the sneaker store, and all of a sudden these dudes like bust in, start putting the work on Waka in the store, and him and his other teammate, they ran in the back room and hid and was scared, and yeah, but no, he's always been that way, man, since as long as I can remember, man.
Man, that's what's up, bro. And last thing, man, because we talked about it before we, went live with this, man. Like, I call it a blog because you've been doing it almost a year strong now, and it's been influential for me, man. So anybody who know Chris Miller, go add this dude on Facebook, bro. Every morning he posts "Good Morning Black Man," bro. And bro, what started that, bro, and why?
So, no, I appreciate that, man. Like, it's really just daily affirmations, for not only myself, but any black man. I think that we're in a time and age right now where I think this generation is considered to be the loneliest generation out of all generations. And one of the main things in particular is how the black man has become the scapegoat for a lot of things that we didn't really have any say, any power, anything in it, any authority into how that narrative was controlled. And a lot of people take that to heart. So, I felt pressed upon myself to give positive words of affirmation and speaking that into the universe of what black men are to me. You know what I'm saying? And it's just really a little bit of encouragement, that can get us started on our way. I think that social media has run amok, in the in how black men are represented, and I don't see it as that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking right now at my screen at 3 great black men that are doing something positive with themselves. I'm looking at Rod's room and create and offering, and he's speaking on family and all of those things, and knowing that you guys are family men. This is what black men look like. It's not we're not out here trying to be destructive. We're not out here, you know what I'm saying, like doing all bad, like how people are portraying us to be. And I just felt like, that's not our story. That's not what it really is. And so I just felt emboldened to kind of just start to put that out there and speak positivity, not only to myself, but to other black men. So
yeah, it's dope. Two of my favorites so far this year is one, Good Morning Black Man, because you already started off with that. He was like, bro, stop tripping. God got this. And that's when I hit you. I
Yeah.
was like, bro, I needed that one, dog. I needed that one. And another one, bro, had me cracking up, and I shared it. It was like, yo, good morning, black man. Get out your feelings. Ain't no money in there. I was like, yo.
Mhm.
That's a fact.
I
It
was
is a
like,
fact.
yeah. I was like, thought
And
that, bro.
that's I mean, that's another thing. You know, I feel like a lot of men are moving in that frame of mind. You know, with that energy to where they're moved by emotion versus being moved off of logic.
Mm.
And I think a lot of that, you know, no disrespect to the mothers, but it has to do with that energy transference of, you know, being around mom all the time and dad not being there all the time. And so, you know, that's
we
kind of
talked
one of
about
those
that.
things to where, you know, like you have to understand, like there's a time and a place to really move in emotion, but you can't be thinking, you know, if you got a vision for yourself, you have to use logic, man. You have to use,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, understand the forces that are against you, and you have to understand how to be able to maneuver against that. So an emotion will not get you there, unfortunately.
Preach,
You
bro.
can be so high on emotion, so strong on emotion, it's not going to move that mountain, man.
Facts, bro.
Man, bro, appreciate you, bro. Man, appreciate you, bro, locking this in, bro. Like you said, man, don't make no mistakes, bro. I reached out to you a month ago. Here you go, episode 99, your class year. Things line up,
What's
man.
up?
I appreciate it though, man. Man, like I said, man, you've been a big inspiration to me. A lot of other people, bro, who speak highly of you, bro. You've been always solid, man, and man, just appreciate you taking the time to join us, man. And just like you
sure.
have your blog at the end of each show, the homie Rod, bro, he always give words of encouragement, man. And so Rod, bro, this is your time, bro.
Yes, sir. Don't carry your mistakes around with you. Instead, place them under your feet and use them as stepping stones to rise above them.
Yo, that just gave me goosebumps, man. That's so true, man.
Yeah, man.
That's so true.
That's it right there, man. But man,
well, no, I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, T.
man.
You know, I think you guys are doing an excellent thing, man. And you know, I pray that, you know, this flourishes into something bigger than what you guys could ever imagine, man. Because you know, we need this. You know,
Appreciate
and
it,
it's
bro.
just really cool
man,
seeing that.
appreciate that, man. Appreciate that, man. So, man, Rod, DC, as always, man, it's good, man. Chris, thank you for joining us, bro. Appreciate it. You know, Rod always enters with his 3-word introduction. I like to end with 3 words. Cue the music.